Do you love using conveyor belts in your games? Do you ever say, look at my spaghetti factory, it's beautiful? Well, then you're gonna love Modulus, a factory automation game that now has a demo that had me hooked from the tutorial to the moment I realized I forgot to eat dinner, literally. And with a trailer racking up over 500,000 views and their wish lists clocking in at over 80,000, I knew I had to see if it's worth all the hype. If you're into games like Factorio, Shapes, hell even Dyson Sphere Program, stick around, this one deserves a spot on your radar. I'm Marco, and hey, if you like getting lost in weirdly satisfying games like this, maybe hit that subscribe button. And so, what is Modulus? Put simply, it's a factory automation game where you cut, color, stamp, and stack your chunky little 3D blocks to build giant futuristic factory components. You'll be designing these massive factories with total creative freedom to satisfy the demands of the grand neural network. To me, that sounds a bit intimidating, but trust me, it's got this weird, chilled out chaos going on. The demo is out now, I booted it up, blinked, and suddenly 2 hours were gone. I was like, okay, take my money, devs. And look, I'm not some automation wizard like the Dutch Academy. I mean, my factories usually include more conveyor spaghetti than an Italian restaurant. But in Modulus, that didn't seem to stress me out. Not yet anyway. You start with a guided tutorial that walks you through what each machine does. You'll notice that there are these stone pillars scattered throughout the map, and in the future there'll be other resources to mine, I guess, and you'll place these extractors on top of them. From there you place down the conveyors. Ah yes, my arch nemesis in factory building games, which you will then feed into these furnaces, which will then make them into these 4x4x4 blocks, and you go from there. But then what do you do with all of these blocks? Well, that's where all these machines come in that can cut and slice and do whatever. We'll start with the cutting one. When you click on it, you can open up this operating table like UI, where you can change the dimensions like you're some kind of sushi chef. Then you've got this assembler, which, yeah, I mean, does the opposite. Now you can Lego your way into a shape that actually works. And to be honest, I did have to use my brain power every now and again. You could pin up these blueprints on the side and then see, okay, well, I need to put that there. I need to reroute my whole factory so that can be built. And you've got these other machines, so you can dye your blocks black or white. Other colors come in later, and you get to reroute your conveyors. You can go nuts here. Just don't expect your factory to stay tiny for very long. And what is the goal? What's the point of the game? Why are you making these weird Lego lumps? Well, you're building these main factory modules that each demand specific block combos. Stuff like 8 long ones, 6 chunky ones, 8 black and white ones, and yeah, it'll change depending on what factory module you're trying to build. Once you've built your first one, it'll spit out this little pentagon shaped piece that gets picked up by your friendly Amazon drone, which is then shipped off to its drop-off point. And then, yeah, you guessed it, you use that pentagon piece to build the next factory module along with some other blocks too, and on it goes. Now, if all of that sounds a bit boring and you're getting a bit sleepy, it's time to wake up. The hand holding in the demo has stopped, and now it's time for you to go off on your own. Now you'll have to build the next factory using the guide that was provided. It's not that hard, and I was getting used to it, so I tried to just steamroll through it. And I must say, it got very messy, but it was a lot of fun. Now, like with the other factory automation games, the controls make manipulating your structures a breeze. I mean, you've got these easy to use key bindings for tools like select, move, copy, clear, or delete. The copy tool lets you select one machine, or you can drag and select a whole bunch, and then you can duplicate that and place wherever you want. It's dead easy. I mean, yeah, even I got used to it. The demo doesn't come with any resource restrictions, but I did see during one of their devlog videos that it comes with a money restriction, so this probably depends on what type of game mode you're going for, but that's about it. It creates minor stress, but it's not like these giant aliens are coming to invade your place if you don't produce fast enough. Oh yeah, and that soundtrack, honestly, it's so good. Just listen to this. I mean, eventually it put me in this weird Zen focus mode. The one minute I was trying to cut and splice these blocks, and the next I knew it was dinner time and my factory looked like a minimalist CPU. It was all very cool. And the game constantly pushes you. It's like, oh cool, you figured out how to make these black shapes? guess what? The blue color has entered the chat. Also, we're giving you this tool that lets you create these punches so you can punch out a different shape so you can create totally new ones. Good luck, buddy. And I'm like, I'm not your buddy, pal. You'll also notice that there's just one conveyor level to build on. I mean, you can tunnel under, but not for very long. So even though the game is all about efficiency, it never felt like my factory was spiraling out of control like in Dyson Sphere or maybe in Satisfactory. Everything here stays fairly manageable and it feels simplified but still very engaging. But then comes that art style, and honestly this is what pulled me in from the beginning. It's got this Mirror's Edge style kind of vibe, with these sleek grays, clean lines, and little pops of color here and there. Then it comes with this low poly look for the buildings that I think works very well. And then the devs decided to put these low poly visuals for the ponds and the trees and the waterfalls all around. And that combination, I think they got spot on. Factory games like this don't come around very often, and honestly, we need more. Modulus reminded me a lot of Shapes with a little bit of Dyson Sphere with those cranes that go into those bigger factories. Once you're done with the tutorial side of things, you can then start a new game which has that Zen mode, which you can just do whatever you want. But at the end of it all, it shows you a roadmap, and honestly this roadmap got me even more excited because it just showed you what else can be created with the different colors of the different factories and a whole bunch of other things that just looked really cool. Overall, I think it looks polished, clever, and way too addicting. Like I said, the demo is out now. Go play it. I highly recommend it. There's no full release date yet, but the devs are aiming for later this year, and I'm really holding my thumbs and my fingers for that because yeah, it looks really cool. What do you think? Will you be jumping into Modulus? Let me know in the comments section below. But other than that, it's Marco here from Easily Distracted Games, and as always, don't stop gaming.